Okay, we're ready for attempt number 2 on this half Volkswagen. I think my problem was some internal timing on the magneto. So I watched some videos, got everything set. I had the small gear set wrong. So we're gonna try it. Oh, I also thought last time that possibly we weren't getting fuel and that there was an issue with the carburetor because we had fuel coming out this. One of my viewers, his name was Scott. Yeah, I think his name was Scott. Said that there is supposed to be fuel coming out of that. So I pulled the air cleaner off, and that's not some kind of passage to the bowl. That is actually a hole that goes right up into the throat of the carburetor. So if you've pulled fuel through the metering system, it will pool up in the bottom there and the excess will drip out. Probably a anti-flood kind of mechanism, but so that's not a problem. He said the instructions that he had from Scott Kassler to start it was to pull it through 3 or 4 times with the magneto off and watch for fuel to come out of there. Once you have fuel come out of there, you know you've got it pulled into the throttle body, the carburetor bore, and you know you're ready to start. So let's give it another try. Okay, the mag is off, choke's on. Fuel valve's on. Okay, we've got fuel coming out the carburetor, so it's pulled it up into the throat of it. Turn the mag on, choke off, throttle slightly open. Certainly helps to have your mag timed right. Well, that was no trickery with editing. That was literally pulled it through till I got fuel coming out the bottom and one pull. Yeah. I had my doubts about the Volkswagens, but I'm kind of liking them now. That definitely had enough wind force to blow your hat off or mess up your hair. Oil pressure, when it first started, was setting right at 60. By the time it had warmed up a little bit, it was backing down to like 45, 50. Tachometer, it was running, I ran it full throttle there for a little bit. It was hitting about 3,700. I need to look on the plan, see if that's where it's supposed to be, but I think that's about right. And it definitely felt like it had plenty of thrust. And it was running fairly smooth. I need to adjust the carburetor a little more. Any smoke you were seeing was coming off the paint on the heads and cylinders. That kind of paint I'm using, it always smokes up the first time. Let it cool down a little bit and I'm going to do it again. Start number 2. Well, I'm liking this already. We have a mosquito problem right now, and I think those are all dead skeeters. All right, I've ran it for the 3 5-minute bursts, tweaked the carb some. Still not sure my tach is reading right. Might have to do some more research on that, because I was showing there at one point, like 4,400 RPM. Now I am running a 5422 prop, so that may not be enough prop, because it's kind of an oddball combination with the 69mm stroke and the 94mm board, but it does seem to be pretty healthy. Typical 4-stroke, I shut it down, and in between runs it didn't want to start real easy. So I did it just like I do some of my 4-stroke dirt bikes. Opened the throttle all the way, pulled it through a few times with the mag off to clear out the cylinders, because they're normally rich after they've shut down, and boy, then just right back fired right up after that. The only other issue I've got is a slight oil drip. I got 2 oil drips. One's from the Magneto. Well, there's a mosquito that didn't get the prop. I had to fire it back up to kill him. There's a slight drip around the Magneto, and I figured I would probably end up siliconing the Magneto on like everything else on this engine when I finally had all the timing set and everything like I wanted, which is no problem at all. There's one little leak there on the back where that plate underneath the oil strainer goes up and meets the back cover. There's a little drip in the corner of it, and it's had that ever since I filled it up with oil the other day. It's a little bit quicker now because the oil's the other mosquito. A little bit quicker now that the oil's hot. That's easy to fix, no big deal. Other than that, didn't have any blow-by coming out. I don't know, I need to check on the RPMs. What are these supposed to idle at? If anybody, I know some of you guys have got these, tell me what it's supposed to idle at RPM wise. Because even at idle it was still showing like 1,700 RPMs, and I figured it's supposed to idle lower than that. And I still need to adjust the throttle stop. things like that. But it didn't seem to be shaking around too bad at the low RPMs, and it was nice and smooth going fast. Oil pressure about 45 pounds. I noticed that when I slowed the engine down, the oil pressure actually went up slightly, and that's got to be that pressure regulator valve. So when you gas it, your pressure is going to climb, and then that regulator valve's open it up. So it's working like it should. Oil temp got up to 140 is the highest the oil temp got. So I'm absolutely thrilled with the way it runs. Just had the magneto, the internal timing a little bit off, and it was just throwing the distributor off, I assume is what was happening, because I was having a lot of just wasn't firing when I thought it was supposed to. So I watched some videos and figured out how to time everything in the distributor, and that seemed to obviously fix the problem. So as far as the build video, this is the last one. I'm going to end the series. She runs good. Came all the way from a horribly built 4-cylinder down to this, and I think I'm going to run this. So I'll start now that this is good. I can start making little modifications, little tweaks on it, but I am going to get back to working on the airframe. First thing I'll probably do is adjust the front end to where this will go on it, because right now I've still got it set up for the Rotax. So I'll change that, then should be able to get to work on everything else on the plane. But if you've stayed through this whole series, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Glad it runs. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.